Yo, what is up? It's your boy Drew. You're checking out that Drew World Order live. It's Sunday night, August 28th, 2022. And let's just jump right into it, man. There's this new thing going around the chans and on Reddit, and they call it Aquarium Gate. And I'm here to debunk it. So I'm going to give my opinion of what I think it is and why it's here. And because of if what I think is right, I'm going to probably have to take this stream down as soon as I'm done. And so what I'll do is I'll probably just upload this to my backup channel, Get Chalked Up. So make sure you're subscribed there. But let's just jump right into it. So there was this conspiracy going around. So 100% don't believe it, and I'll tell you why. This is the summary of it. They call it Aquarium Gate. Basically in Houston, and I think there's some locations in Ohio. They say if you go on Google Maps and you type in the word aquarium with random 2 letters in front of it, these addresses come up, and they're not necessarily a house. It's like a range, like a block, basically, a range of time. Bob CZZ, I don't know how to say your name. Bob Sizz says, yeah, all the gates are fake. Exactly. When you hear the gate, know that it's fake. 100%. So they have these addresses listed with them. It says they're not listed as a company and haven't been found connected to anyone. Theory. So just immediately jump to this. Brothels in Thailand with glass panels they keep the person behind are called Aquarium. Sex trafficking overview. Page 13. They are safe houses kept by the feds. They are entrances to tunnels. Houses that make and or sell drugs. Locations marked bull ring, followed by a similar naming pattern. XY bull ring have been found in the proximity of Columbus, Ohio, Hartford, Connecticut, Houston, Texas, blah, blah, blah. So basically, it's like fake businesses that pop up on Google Maps that they immediately jump to. They are like sex trafficking or children or any kind of crazy stuff like that, right? And Vice got on it right away. This has been like the last couple weeks or something maybe. And what's happening right away is these threads are getting like taken down and shut down on the chans and on Reddit and stuff. Like just enough of them are allowed to propagate to kind of keep it up. And so let me just jump into what I think it is, and we'll kind of go over what some of this is. What I think this kind of stuff is, I think it's like a test by the controllers of the internet, AI, combination of those or whatever. So let's say you did have some real smoking gun footage that you could come out and pin an upcoming false flag or any kind of event, and you could just get this out. You had some types of dead man switch where you could get this out and have it propagate the internet very fast. I think they have test systems like this in place where they could just like corral all this information and quarantine it and just stop it right in its place before it spreads out throughout the whole internet. So I don't think this is real. This is sort of like their test of, and this is just a guess. I can't really base this on anything. But I think this is their test for, they can create these whatever safe houses or this whole narrative basically through anonymous chans, and then let it kind of go and then try their little internet quarantine test and contain it all and instantly delete it and mark and tag the people that are spreading it or whatever. That's what I think. But let's look a little deeper into it. Vice just covered it the other day. It says someone made fake aquariums on Google Maps, which are now being used as a convoluted conspiracy about child trafficking, satanic rituals, etc. And just like all these other ones, man, it's all about getting you to think about this sick stuff and these kids getting hurt. You saw the same thing with Hunter Biden's laptop. It's all about to get you to look at these sick pictures of him doing drugs. He's with hookers. There's pictures of little kids putting their feet on him or whatever. They want you looking at that. They want you thinking about it. It's in your mind. It's 100 times worse than even if it was real. If you saw a video in your mind, it's going to be 100 times worse. That's why in a horror movie, when you see some of the worst kills in horror movies kind of happen off the screen, and because your mind can just go anywhere with it. But that's what I think. And I don't know what Vice exactly said here. I just kind of, but also this reminds me, and another reason why I do have a track record of debunking these things, and let me show you real quick, is it's basically the modern day Wayfair Gate. Remember Wayfair Gate? Where they were saying you could order some super expensive furniture from Wayfair, and it was like a kid was going to come to your door. I debunked that the day that it came out. I said that was not real. And it turned out to be not real. I'm pretty sure I got a strike on YouTube for that because I think it's the same kind of thing, and that's probably why I'm going to have to pull this video down. But that was a good cover, man, right there. Yeah, right here. Wayfair is bullshit, changing my mind. So I called that out the day that one hit. And if you go back on my Instagram and scroll way back, I've been calling out QAnon. I was trying to find the earliest one, but calling out the Quackanon, I mean, very early on, 2018, and saying, I said on this one, it's a TV show for people who don't watch TV. The internet is the next iteration of television. They know you don't watch it. So they give you like an interactive game to play, and now you can hunt international sex trafficking criminals from your couch and never have to do anything and be virtuous and pretend like you're saving kids. Meanwhile, there's all kinds of like molesters and people hurting children in your own block, in your own neighborhood, at least within a 1 mile area. And there's probably a center right in your city where you could go help these kids, volunteer your own time or whatever, and actually create a real change. But they want you stuck on these on the screen, like playing sleuth online. But yeah, it says Aquarium Gate, which has also been called Pizzagate 2.0, requires several levels of conspiracy knowledge to understand, but basically goes like this. Sometime over the weekend, a few posters on 4chan discovered a string of bizarre places on Google Maps in the greater Houston area. Many of the places' listings were for aquariums, all of which had two-letter names. These include examples HR Aquarium, TS Aquarium, TD Aquarium, EC Aquarium, and so on and so forth. The Google Street View images of these locations made it clear that no aquariums were located in these places. It was just random houses or blocks of houses. A 4chan user posted that they had found these on Google Maps listing, and posters on 4chan began looking for coded messages in the reviews for the aquariums. Users began suggesting these locations or codes they found were intended to direct people to trafficking services or witch covens or gang safe houses. Many of the listings were eventually deleted by Google because they're obviously fake, and discussion of the conspiracy was deleted by Reddit and Conspiracy, all of which, of course, led people to believe the conspiracy was being hidden. So that's what I'm saying. It's probably like a test to kind of quarantine any kind of information they don't want to get out. Let's say you were going to go do something crazy and you had some manifesto and you had some way for that to propagate the internet very fast if you knew how to do that. And this is a kind of a test event they create in the digital world only, and then they can kind of test that. That's my theory. There's just all kinds of the Redditors covering it said we're mad that Vice didn't cover the mention of aquariums with sex trafficking in Thailand. But what is the source for this? There's just like a page of a book, there's no link to what this is. This is probably from a legitimate publication or something, but there's no source on the Reddit. And here's another one. It says, one of the reviews of another aquarium said no fish, but plenty of hot dogs. So if you remember that from the Pizzagate, and it was like hot dogs but great hot dogs, it said. And that was 11 months ago. Now, I would explain that away to me, not because I don't want, or I just don't believe it. What I think how that could be 11 months ago is that's what the entire point of the internet is so they can go in and they can just backdate anything they want. So they could go in, as I said, they're just creating this narrative digitally. I don't think this probably wasn't on here 11 months ago whenever they decided to go live with this little online quarantine drill. They just put these reviews in and they know you're looking for these codes because you're part of this interactive game. They call it like truth community, whatever. You're not doing anything in real life, but you're posting a screenshot and feeling virtuous like you saved a kid. Vice here says they compare it to Pizzagate with the Comet ping pong and all that. It says the main thing is there's no evidence of anything. Exactly. There is zero evidence. It's possible for anyone to add a specific location to Google Maps, and none of the aquariums listed viewed by Motherboard were verified by Google, which requires a business to enter a PIN number sent to a physical mail to the business's mailbox. Anyone can add a business to Google at a location. However, Google won't verify it unless they can send you a postcard with a PIN number. They aren't verified locations because they don't have mailboxes. Therefore, it's just a weak user-based hack. So it could be entirely, completely a Chan troll also. You know, just to get these people all riled up. That's what I think about it. And just want to look at a couple more of these. There was an entire, I don't know where it went though. Here it is. Maybe that's not it. Like the two letters in front of it. It's sick, man. I was looking at this one and it said the two letters in front of it, like here's what the codes were for it. And I probably won't be able to find it here right away. But it was something like, or maybe it's this YouTube video. Let me see. Supposedly the codes were like, you know, whatever they are, just picked any two letters. XY means this was like a kill room, and then SA means this one was like an underground tunnel, and it was like this one's only little boys, and this other code, you know, was only little girls, and then this code here, it's like third world country kids and everything. It's sick, man, and it's just to get you to like think about that and participate in that type of thinking, man. It's deranged. They love to think about it, unfortunately. It's like a horror movie in your mind. And it reminds me exactly of, like I said, Wayfair Gate, which turned out to be absolutely nothing, just like I called it on the first day. And it also reminds me, if you remember, it was called Operation Backyard Brawl. And that was early on, like in the early days of Quackanon. And this dude went to basically like a homeless camp, and he found like, you know, there was like things strewn about, and he made every single thing say it was a place where they were like trafficking kids and stuff like that. None of it was ever proven. Right here it says there was like debris, desert wildlife, and there was like I remember there was like a cage in the ground or something like that, and this guy was like, yeah, that's where they hold the victims and stuff like that. But none of it was ever proven. So it was the guy went to the police. If you guys remember any of that, man, let me know. I specifically remember this, and I was on going hard on Instagram at the time. And I remember all the women, especially on Instagram, were super like riled up over this when they were going live and like crying about it. They were like, this guy found this camp. They found the camp. Yeah, straps on trees that this guy found, and he did like a live stream talking about it. He said the straps on the trees were not used to secure parts of makeshift homeless encampment. Instead, they were restraints for holding children in place while they were abused by cartel, he claimed. The space dug into the ground was in fact a prison for the children, and various other items of trash and debris at the site proved to Meyer that sick shit had been going on here. And he just made the unsubstantiated claim that it's a child trafficking camp or whatever. But there was nothing to prove that. And then, yeah, he climbed a 80-foot pole and hung a flag. And I remember he was gonna do. I don't know if he did it. He was gonna stay up on this, like, I don't know if it was that same pole or something, but he climbed up something and he was gonna stay up there until the police did something. But they did actually send police and I think FBI and stuff like that to the scene, and they weren't able to find anything. Now these people, schizos, immediately go to, oh, it's a cover up. They're covering up. It's the Podestas, Podesta molesta, and stuff like that. So basically, that's what I see. I see it all as 2.0 of that, and these people all fall for the same trick again and again and again and again. The same thing you're going to see. Republicans are going to fall for the same trick again and again and again when they get the next anti-establishment person in there. I saw, oh, it's not going to be a good story because I don't remember the name. Some lady, the lady that beat Liz Cheney or whatever out for, is it Wyoming? And she had a Twitter thing going viral, and it's just like the new play is like they're putting out these constitutional Republicans. So it's this lady that was like, oh, we need to, end this, just saying all these like common sense things. And they had this dramatic music behind it. And then all the people on Twitter were like, oh, this woman needs to be president. They don't even know her name. They don't know any of her policies. They don't know anything about it, but they immediately jump to, this woman should be president. It's absolutely insane. But yeah, here's another magazine that covered it, Aquarium Gate, a couple days ago. Yeah, 2 letters, star symbol. Some people said there was like stars on the front of these buildings and stuff. But again, man, there's just nothing. No, there's nothing to it other than to get you to think about it. And the scrubbing, the biggest thing is, to these people as a proof, is the scrubbing. But that's what my theory on this is that it's like a quarantine, a digital quarantine testing operation. So I'm going to have to pull this down immediately, and I'll put it on my backup channel. And I think that's it. I mean, I could go on and on about these, but it's just going to be, all the same stuff. I did want to show this to shout out to EBT. We went live the other night for 3 hours. Everyone seemed to really enjoy the stream, so make sure you follow Enslaved by Truth on YouTube. But we often talk about what we call the OOE effect, and it'll be like right after we do a live stream and talk about something or show pictures of something, like something in the mainstream news will happen right after that. Kind of what we were talking about, even if it's not, that's not like a current event thing. So the same thing happened again here, because we heavily talked about chemtrails, and then just today, finally, in the New York Times, there's a giant article about climate change and cloud seeding, and they come out and they admit that's what chemtrails are. Now, I'm not saying that is what they are, but I'm saying it's in the mainstream now, and they're saying that's what this is right here. It shows pictures here of the planes. Now, cloud seeding to me would probably be a little different than what we see and consider to be chemtrails. But I'm just saying, like, it seems like when we talk about something, then there's like a mainstream news story most of the time that'll kind of follow our live streams. You know why? Because it's a damn simulation, bro. You're in a simulation, dog. Wowie, wowie. I know it's true, man. All right, let me take this down and bring it to the backup channel. I'll play this before I go out. Oh, this one was funny. Not this. This isn't what I wanted to play. Here's another one. 2 minutes from 1980. Appreciate your time. Peace out.
On clear days, you can often see long white lines being traced high in the sky. They are contrails of jet aircraft, actually long, slender clouds. Weathermen are finding them especially fascinating because a theory is being developed that those long white lines may be changing our weather for the better. Details from Roger O'Neill.
The exhaust from jet engines, usually seen as long, thin trails of white clouds behind high-flying jet airplanes, may be a big reason why there are 30 fewer days of sunshine a year in the Midwest now than there were in 1900. The daily range between high and low temperatures has also narrowed. Weather researchers studying cloud cover in 10 Midwestern states found a sharp increase in cloudiness with the increase in commercial jet travel. Particularly in the main east-west jet corridor, there were even more clouds. A jet produces a contrail, or a cloud, because its exhaust consists primarily of water vapor.
In the absence of natural clouds, given the correct atmospheric conditions, jet aircraft in high frequency can almost completely cover the atmosphere, visible atmosphere, with clouds.
Simonin says unlike most changes in the atmosphere caused by man, this one is beneficial. Clouds help farmers in the Midwest by blocking the sun. Temperature extremes can damage plants and speed up the evaporation of soil moisture. In the winter, city people benefit because clouds act as a blanket, preventing warm air from escaping into the atmosphere.
No one is trying to make clouds now using jet engines, but this study suggests that jet travel is inadvertently making our days more cloudy. And someday, weather researchers may be able to use jets on purpose to change our weather. Roger O'Neill, NBC News, Champaign, Illinois.
On clear.
All right, y'all. Don't forget. Wayfair Gate, fake. This is the new Wayfair Gate. Aquarium Gate, fake. Peace out.